Welcome to Honestly Rated, and today we'll be talking about your favorite battle-ready centaur, Nightmare. Some might be wondering why we're doing Nightmare today, and well, I really like the idea of doing the Nightmare Honestly Rated before Christmas. Let me shout out Glitch, a commenter who suggested doing Nightmare to make a Nightmare Before Christmas joke. I honestly found that idea to be really funny, so I decided I was even going to make this video on the day before Christmas. So, if you're new here and you don't know what Honestly Rated is, we're going to take a look at Nightmare, her overall gameplay, and also design, to really see how good Nightmare is in every single type of way. But before we jump into the action, let me give you the old tale on how Nightmare became a Skylander. Nightmare was a dark centaur who guarded the Oracle Stones, which is just basically dark sky stones apparently, and that can also predict the future. But even though she was guarding it, apparently she wasn't too good because apparently it got stolen by an unknown force. And this is actually a really bad thing because apparently if this Oracle Stone gets asked the wrong question 7 times, it's just gonna put a whole curse on Skylands and they're basically fucked. Luckily for Nightmare, she was able to find these guys, a little bicycle ops inside of a cave, about to ask their 7th wrong question, which, you know, back in school, teachers used to tell me that there is no such thing as a bad question, so I really wonder what they had to be asking if it was really considered a wrong question. But nonetheless, again, she just beat the shit out of them, got those stones back, and decided to join the trap team to fight evil with her hunting skills, apparently. One last thing I'd like to say is that if you want to see more Honestly Rated, there is a playlist in the description that has every single one there, so, you know, go feel free to go watch those. If you want to see your Skylander potentially on Honestly Rated too, leaving it down in the comments would always be nice. I do like to pick off of them because, you know, it's what you guys want to see. And if you want to stay up to date with these, you know, subscribing helps me the most, but also maybe liking. And these come out every single Saturday, so like, you don't have to do the other two, but it would be really nice. But now with all that out of the way, let's get on to Nightmare and see what she can really do. Starting off with Titanium Flamberge and Shadow Joust. I definitely think Nightmare starts out just kind of like a mixed bag. First, we'll start off with Flamberge. Flamberge is honestly a pretty perfect melee attack for me. It is fast moving, as in the fact that you can move faster with it. It is just absolutely kind of beautiful, honestly. And it does pretty solid damage. It's really nice. It can back into fights, it can go out of fights, it can switch up targets really easily. It's just a very beautiful move. But like I said, Nightmare is a mixed bag, and that's where Joust comes in to make sure that we have a little bit of a shitty move. It is slow in moving, it is slow in starting, it is low damage, it's not very practical, very linear, comparatively to Flamberge, where again, you can get out of fights, you can get into fights, you can really Spider-Man around between areas. This one's very like a bull. It just kind of goes in one straight line until it hits something and then turns around and goes again. It's not that great. And again, like I said, damage, very pitiful, man. It's not even 30. It's like fucking 20. It's so bad. I don't know why they did it like that. I guess you're not really using the full might of the sword, but come on, it didn't really deserve that weak, does it? Next on the runner-up is Gifts That Keep On Giving and Charged Up a Charge. Personally, I find it kind of funny that there's a move called Gifts That Keep On Giving on a character that's not very Christmas related, but you know, I'm using her as a Christmas video. I don't know, I find that kind of funny. But let's talk about Gifts That Keep On Giving, because honestly, it's a pretty great move. Gifts That Keep On Giving is a afterburn, I guess, you know, just something to chip away enemies every single time you use your primary attack. Joust doesn't get this, which I don't know why it would make Joust at least a little bit better comparatively to what it is, but they did also decide to give Joust an upgrade, and that's Charge Up Charge. And it's not that great. It's just, again, just exactly how it sounds. You charge up your charge just a little bit more, and you go charging with that charge. It does a little bit more damage. It's finally up to 30, but again, you have to wait even longer, and I already said it was pretty long, so waiting longer than long, that's super long. And why the fuck would I want to wait that long? Bars. Last up is going to be Battle Horn and Shadowy Clones. This is another pretty mixed bag for Nightmare. Battle Call, the move itself, just the standard move without the clones, is pretty shit. It is a somewhat projectile, but not really close melee, super wide-reaching quote-unquote move that doesn't really do that well. You can hit multiple enemies with it, but they have to be really tied up against each other, and it doesn't really do that much damage, and it's super slow. Again, I don't know why they keep giving Nightmare all these slow things, but it's just super slow at activating and also getting out of it. Comparatively to Joust, where at least that one you can jump out of, this one, it takes a bit before you can do anything, and it really sucks because of it. Nonetheless, though, I really can't say this move is bad, though, because of its upgrade, Shadowy Clones, that we get right after. It allows us to summon quote-unquote clones that go and fight the enemies. This is good for many reasons. For one, it does damage. That's pretty cool at any time, and it does pretty high damage. And they also have enemy priority, so any enemies that are attacking you might end up start attacking the Shadow Clones instead of dealing with you. That's always good for a melee character to really get the balance off of them and onto something that really doesn't matter. So that's pretty good too. But again, just something I'm going to mention that's not really going to go into the score. Why are these guys called clones? Listen, I know back in Trap Team they would actually take the form of something you hit, but I don't know what developer or what type of time crunch they're on, since, you know, these games basically came out every other year. They didn't actually kind of convert that to Nightmare, and so they just turned to Greebles, and now they're just Greebles. So these clones are just Shadow Greebles. And honestly, I feel sorry for anybody that played Nightmare back in Trap Team and like continuously played her as the games continued, because I don't know if it started in Superchargers or Imaginators, but if I just picked up my character, started playing, and saw Shadow Greebles fly out, I might have cried, because that was like the coolest part about her. And honestly, I think I would. Again, my condolences go out for you. Onto the Shadow Summoner path, where we have more clones, and it's a win-win. Starting off with these two moves, I absolutely find them to be majestic. I really do like them. Well, for one, more clones, not to be like another grammar police here, but you only get one. You get up to 3 now. We used to only have 2. And personally, why even say more clones? Anytime you put an S behind anything, it usually means that you're going to have more than one. So where's that other one? At least give me 4. At least make the S, like, relevant. Realistically, it should just be called a clone, because you just gain a clone. That's not bad, though. I'm not trying to hate the move because of it. It's actually pretty good, for the same reasons I just mentioned before. It's just one extra one. That's super nice. And then we get It's a Win-Win, which It's a Win-Win is a true win. It does everything right. So, Dive Clubs, pay attention here, because anytime we spawn in more Greebles over the 3 limit, or they die, they explode and give you HP. Like I said about Dive Clubs, it is phenomenal that anytime my Greebles go away because of my doing, because I want to spawn more, the effects still happen. Like Dive Clubs mines that didn't fucking explode when you spawn more mines, these actually explode, and they give you a little bit of HP. Now 5 isn't a lot, but if you can find a really tight group, like I said, Battle Call can hit multiple enemies, and multiple Greebles will show up, and multiple Greebles will die. So you get probably like 20 HP if you got like 4 enemies around you. That stacks up pretty well if you're not getting hit. So it truly is a win-win. Then last up on the path we have is Shadowy Sacrifice. And let me tell you, have you ever seen one of those characters make one of those really big sundaes and they put the cherry on top and then it glistens and they're all mouthing over it? Yeah, practically this move is like the cherry. It's just that little sweetener on top that just makes the whole path even just that better. Practically what it does is that anytime you use Battle Call on the Greeble, not anytime you use Battle Call, you have to specifically hit the Greeble, it will give you a damage boost. Now the damage boost isn't high, but hey, it's a damage boost. Nightmare isn't a super damaging character. I wouldn't say she is not doing any damage at all, but she is also not on that high echelon. So just giving her a little bit more damage, just to hit a couple more things, giving the Greebles a little bit more of a purpose is always great in my books. So yeah, I really like this one. On to the Flamberge Aficionado path, where I'm going to have some choice words, where it's Shadow Stab and Flamberge Fragment. Let me split this into 2 things I want to talk about. For one, let's talk about the moves themselves. These are both combo moves split into 2 different upgrades for some reason, and they both are boring, not flashy, and realistically do a whole lot of dog shit. The first combo move makes enemies sit down. You stab the ground, and they just sit. That's really it. They get back up, you fight them. They don't, like, I don't really know what the purpose of it other than just kind of running. But at the same time, I don't really think she really needs it. Then, the second one does even less. It is just you tooting your horn. Just and they get damaged. And that's it. That's it. It doesn't do anything different. And listen, the horn animation is not even like cool. It's not even like something insane. It doesn't even spawn a Greeble. Come on, at least make it do the bare minimum. It's literally worse than just doing a normal battle horn. I don't know what it is even supposed to do. Then the second part, I kind of just want to rant a little bit. How lazy is it to have 2 combo moves in 2 different upgrade slots? Listen, think of Eyebrow where he has a combo thing. It is 2 for 1. A BOGO deal, okay? Buy one, get the other one for free, basically. But this one, they say buy one, and then you still have to buy the other one, because fuck you. It just really shows how either lazy they were with this path, or they really didn't know what to do with Nightmare and her big sword. And I want to lean towards that path because I don't want to think that the people making this game are just trying to make shit up really quickly. Again, these games do come out within like a yearly basis, so I wouldn't take that out of the realm of possibility. But the top path was so good that I just don't want to believe that they just really just wanted to rush through things. I really just think they didn't know what to do with their big sword, and I just find it really annoying. Especially because none of these had to do with her joust. Her joust has been untouched since that second upgrade, and that's honestly because what do you do with the joust? I truly don't know either. So, I don't know. I just really hate seeing stuff like that in games, and this is somewhere I can kind of point it out. I just don't like seeing things that in the past, you know, again, you get both of them in one upgrade, and then they just try to like weasel out like yeah, here you go. This is how it's always been type deal. I just don't like it, even if it's a little different. I don't know. I just don't like it at all. Then the last thing is the Sword of Darkness. Man, how pitiful does that have to be that the last move, the thing that costs the most on the path, the thing other than the Soul Gem that's kind of supposed to be like the most crazy and most giving of a move, at least in my opinion, is a damage upgrade. That is just kind of sad. The sword doesn't even change that much. A damage upgrade in itself, though, for a Nightmare, I personally think should be kind of cool. Especially because, again, I don't think she is that high damage, so giving her more with her sword is pretty nice. Now, why didn't they apply this to the jousting? I don't really know. Why didn't they give another move for the jousting? Personally, I don't know what you would do with it, but find something, man, because that thing was just so underused, and it's just not that great. They were able to fix the Battle Horn. They could have maybe thought of something to fix the joust, because, man, it's just not great. I don't like it, and I really don't like this path. Again, it kind of shows that they really didn't know what to do with their big sword. I want to believe that's the case, because, again, damage upgrade last one? Really? Really? Think of the top path. That thing was awesome. I really liked it. It's just, I don't know why they just couldn't put their noggins together. How many people work on a Skylander? It's gotta be a couple, right? On to the Shadow Realm with you, Jimbo, because that is where Nightmare wants to take us, and honestly, I would love to be here. It is amazing for Nightmare. It is invisibility, it gives Greebles more damage, and it just overall makes Nightmare like a really phenomenal character. You can keep spamming it. The way you do it is just by using your Battle Horn. So there's not much setup there. It doesn't take a long time. You just pull it out and bada bing, bada boom, they can't see you anymore. It is a really great Soul Gem. It's really beneficiary, and it really fits the motto of a Soul Gem. It's pretty cool, somewhat OP, and overall has a pretty cool name. This truly did feel like a Nightmare Before Christmas. Not because she's bad, but it's mainly because, well, it's a real mixed bag. We got some coal, we got some presents, we got some real treats. I feel like I probably bit an apple with a razor in it. There's a lot of things about this character that I love and hate. And personally, for its honest rating for Nightmare Before Christmas, it's going to be a solid 3 out of 5. And there's many reasons why. So let's quickly go over them. What I like about her? I like her sword. I like the flagrance or fragrance, whatever it's called. I like it. I like how it moves. I like how it fights. I really enjoy that. Jousting, really underused. Very not good. There's a good reason why it was underused. It's just not that great. I wish there was more upgrades for it, or they thought of something just to make it more beneficial, or at least give those damage upgrades towards the joust too, because there's no reason the damage should be the same from the beginning to the end. It really shouldn't. Then the battle call. Like I said, mixed bag. The battle call itself, really shit. Then, when it gets that Shadow Clone, obviously very good. Top path, dude, it felt like hitting Mount Everest, man. Like, ever think about going to Mount Everest? Like, okay, obviously no one here has actually gone to Mount Everest, but imagine yourself getting up there. The euphoria as you put your flag down, like, I think that's what they probably do up there, and you're just like, man, and you look over the horizon, right? And then you, like, trip over a pebble, and now you tumble down, and now we're in hell, because now we're in the bottom path. It is absolutely horrible. It's falling into lava. It's burning yourself alive. It's a lot of things that are not good. It is not great. It shows laziness. I'm hoping not laziness, but it shows laziness. It shows a lack of care with the bottom path and a lack of just giving a shit, and I really don't like it because of those reasons. And it just sucks, too. Like, overall, the moves don't benefit Nightmare in the slightest. And when it comes to the Soul Gem, it's even worse. But speaking about the Soul Gem, it's a good treat, you know? It's like that cherry again, like I mentioned before. It's like the cherry. It's like a cherry on top of a half beautiful / shit cake. It's just there to tie things together. But with that, that is my honest rating on Nightmare. Let me know what you think about below, and let me give you a little secret. Since you made it to the end, there's another honestly rated video tomorrow. I know this is like a Nightmare Before Christmas thing, but guess what? There's gonna be another thing for Christmas. So come back tomorrow, and I'd like to see you here. So thank you. Subscribe, like, remember, playlist, all the videos right there if you want to see more. And I hope to see you and everybody else tomorrow for another honestly rated. Peace.